signed. I haven't really. I mean, I don't sell originals out of here.
Yeah.
Like most of the people walking, we sell prints all day long.
Yeah.
Like I just showed the other Atlantic Harmonies there for $1,200 or whatever for that set. That'll sell all day long.
Yeah.
18 grand ain't gonna sell out of this, and people aren't gonna walk in off the street. You know what I mean? That's gonna have to be. I'm gonna
You gotta frame
proactively
that
seek a buyer.
picture.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just haven't really worked at selling it.
Is that door locked in case Carl decides to walk down here at Thanks?
It is.
Who?
Her brother.
I think we should bring him in and just throw, give the Carlness.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You want to invite him?
Have I ever met your brother?
So the funny thing is, one episode. I don't know if you
Are we recording right now?
Probably.
I think we are.
with Chip
That's
LaMarco,
the red light.
right? We had Chip LaMarco in here.
You can't
And-
talk any lower. They can still hear us.
Yeah. And Matt Dubuck, the head coach of Cardinal Gibbons football.
I remember them. Absolutely.
And
That's quite a
she
while back.
couldn't make it one night. And coincidentally, earlier in the day, her brother, like about half an hour before the podcast, just comes and visits the gallery. And I'm like, oh, how funny is that? Your sister can't make it. Why don't you fill in for her? Right?
As a bartender.
And I thought that'd be a fun idea.
Was he offended?
Apparently hasn't hung out with Carl in
It was a little bit of a rough time. Like he's like going up to Chip, you know Chip?
Yeah.
Going up to Chip, like unbuttoning his collar, going, "Hey, loosen up, Chippy."
He's like 6'4",
Yeah,
6'3",
on the show.
Oh shit!
I'm like, wow. I'm like, Carl, don't do that, man. I almost had to stop the show, but
But we're at home watching it because I was supposed to leave for
Yeah,
the
we were
cabin
doing it
and I
live.
didn't. So there was the live time.
Even more better.
We
You're
were
like,
doing it
oh
live.
my
And
god.
Kath, we're actually eating dinner, watching it, and like they're sitting there running through it, and I can hear him talking. I'm texting him. I'm like, you have to check their drinks. Like, stop speaking. I can hear you through everything. Like, I'm texting him all this stuff, and I can see him pushing me to like mute, and he's talking to the gentleman's wife back here, and you can hear all the conversation.
Eileen's at the end of the bar.
Oh,
This is when we were
shit.
next door. So Eileen's at the end of the bar too, and he's like talking to her too, and like he's picking the mics are picking all this up too, like in the middle of our podcast, and we're like,
And
yeah,
then we're
you
sitting
gotta
there.
Stop talking, dude.
They start going through the sponsors, and he starts talking again over like Dennis, like Dennis, you're the man, all this other stuff. And we're sitting there eating dinner, and they just cut him right off. Like Dennis couldn't even get through his sponsors, and they cut
Yeah,
him
at
right
the
off.
end,
And
yeah.
and my daughter's like, I don't think they want Uncle Carl on the show. And I'm like,
Oh, Carl. Sorry,
but it was
Carl.
cute because he walked by a couple weeks ago, and he like looked in the window while we were. He's your new Lighthouse Point
Yeah, we're neighbors.
residents. Now you guys got
Yep.
neighbors, new neighbors.
Yep.
My brother's new to the industry,
Nice.
area.
Yeah. So, all right, we.
That's not how I want to start
I hope
the
that
fucking
doesn't
show
happen
off.
today. That's all right. So, we are in the presence of greatness once again. So I got my buddies here, right? Our favorite show that we do, our most popular show that we do, is with you two guys. So
it's been a while.
right? It's been a little while, but
Yeah,
you know,
what's it been? 4 or 5 months?
no, has it been that long?
I think so, at least, yeah.
It was.
That might be the longest stretch we've ever
Did we
done
do it?
without
Sure.
doing a show.
Did we do a? We didn't do a wrap up for Sailfish season, did we? I don't
I
even
think
remember.
that's all. I don't either, dude.
Yeah, the Jimmy Johnson.
So no, we didn't wrap it up then.
No, we
My
didn't.
husband
wrap it.
asked how long this podcast was going to be. I was like, hours.
No.
Just put the kids to bed. I'll see you after.
See you tomorrow,
10.
hun.
It's like,
It's been a while. I want to say though, this weekend was a lot of fun. So she throws this thing at her house. They invited us to this thing that they do called Splash Bash, right? And I guess apparently you do this every year at your house.
it's starting to be an annual.
Starting to be an annual, so
It looked like fun.
it's a lot of fun, right? So, but I was the slide king.
I saw something about that.
So I was telling all these kids, so I went on the slide, so you put a couple margaritas in me. At this point, I see a bunch of kids sliding down this bounce house slide, so I got to go and climb up, and I start getting on there. I'm like, I said, listen, want everyone know I rule this thing. Like, no, we rule this thing. I said, no, I am the slide king. See, she's got the picture right there.
Started throwing kids off the slide.
So it became a big challenge for them who could push me down the
Well,
slide. and all
Mr.
this stuff
Slide
like that.
King, can you come
Yeah,
talk to
oh,
my
yeah.
daddy and make him go on the slide, please? 'Cause what do I say to my father to make him come with me?
It's it. So this girl comes up to me. It's like kind of like as we're leaving. She goes, "Excuse me, Mr. Slide King." Like, I'm like, "Yes." And she's like, "What do I say to my dad to convince him to come on the slide with us, like you came on the slide with us?" I said, "Oh,
Give him
all
a
right.
couple margaritas.
I said, yeah, that's probably what I should have said. I
Funny
said,
that you say that.
so I said, give your dad a kiss on the cheek and tell him that you love him forever if she'll come on the slide with you. And then she looks at me and she goes, I don't think that's going to work. Can you go talk to him?
Really?
Yeah. So I was like, no, I'm not talking to your dad. Anyway, but I was definitely the Slide King. The Slide King will make his appearance next year, and it'll be even better.
And Splash Bash 2024.
Unless you're living in North Carolina.
Do you guys
Right.
put any baby soap on the slide? Make it.
Well, they did because we had like 25 by 60 foot slide.
Uh-huh.
25 high, 60 long, and it was baby soap went. I had them choose. They go, do you want tearless or not? And because
Gotta get tearless.
it's not as soapy enough, so they came back for the dawn.
Oh, damn.
Oh boy.
That was about 6 o'clock.
It's a fun party. Mike makes a damn good margarita. The yeah,
Which
so.
is tequila of choice.
I gotta say that's his recipe. He uses
have
like
no
3.
idea?
I know he drinks Casamigos like on the rocks, but I'm sure it's more of like there's a silver in there somewhere of some sort. 2 bottles actually was in that mix that we made.
Yeah.
Love a good margarita.
So we were definitely connected by water this weekend
Literally.
and margaritas. So all right, so we're here with Art and Skip. This is our Connected by Water podcast number 161, right? Something like that. Yeah, 161. You believe that?
Damn.
When you guys, your first one was like 10, 11, 12, something like that. When you guys first
Not our
came
group, not our first group one, I don't think.
On? No,
It
it's
was-
solos.
yeah.
I think you guys.
No, I
you
was-
came on with Joey 1st right?
I was
And-
ways
I
in.
think didn't you come on with Joey together?
I think so. Yeah.
And then, so just want to give a shout out to Joey and say thank you very much. First ever guy that ever sponsored the podcast, and we appreciate it. So, and you were like 16 or something like I don't know something
Somewhere
like
in
that.
there.
Anyway, but it's been. I think we counted the podcast.
It was a pile.
It was a lot, right? So anyway, my official spiel. Welcome to Connected by Water podcast. Fueled by our very good friends at Pop's PR Room, who remind you never to be a spectator. I'm your host, Dennis Friel, and we are coming to you from the Connected by Water Studio Gallery, comfortably located between the Intercoastal and the Sand in the scenic and sunny Pompano Beach, Florida. We are a Waypoint hosted podcast. You can find us there or also watch, listen, and subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcast. Do not forget to hit that like button, and please, we would love to hear from you in the comments or by email at sales@connectedbywater.com. I'd also like to express our thanks to the W Sauce and Finor Sunglasses and Olakai for giving us all your support. Now listen, I know we usually do a lot of the tournament talk. That I think that's kind of evolved over the years, that we just talk and tournaments are kind of involved, right? I know we have a sugar ton of questions today,
Yep.
right? Because everyone really, really, really responded to that post.
What, are we going G-rated now?
Oh,
It's been a little while, I know, but...
no, shit, damn, fuck, whatever you want to
Okay,
say.
good. Well, I was just sugar. What's
I
this
don't know.
sugar
Shit, damn
ton?
crap.
I do it sometimes for character and color.
Gotcha.
Anyway, but I do want to ask one question right off the bat because I want to tease this episode. So we're having our end of summer shutdown for the studio at the end of August here. We're going to be closing the show for a couple of weeks, and then we'll be back at it in September, and we will be firing off an episode with Michelle Bombshell Dalton.
Lovely. Yeah, she's had a hell of a summer with her
She
travels
had a
there.
really
Yeah.
great summer. She had a really great summer, so I want to talk to her all about it. So I just
look
want
forward to
to
that.
rip off one question from her, which is a really good question, right off the bat, and we can get into talking about whatever else we want. She says, if you had to build a tournament fishing team, but you could only pick 5 celebrities without any fishing experience at all, who would you pick?
Tom Brady, first one. I get him. Motherfucker's a winner.
There you go. All right, good answer.
Yeah.
Winners.
I would
Yeah.
take Shaq.
Shaq.
That's a leader. That's a leader man.
You certainly have a big enough boat
Ah,
for
not
What
a
that.
kind
bad
of
idea.
fishing are we doing? I'm thinking like Chevy Chase. I'm like, I want to be on a boat. I want to laugh a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
You know?
I hear that. All right. Woody Harrelson.
Mhm.
Definitely, I want Woody Harrelson. Yeah, okay, we need a leader, man. Horace Grant, if he's still half the man that
If
I
he can
met.
still walk.
Go
Yeah,
for skills here.
Yeah, dude, that guy was one of the most physically dominating human being I'd ever met in my life. And that was at the same time I met. He was Orlando Magic when Shaquille O'Neal was there, and the two of them standing side by side. And it was before Shaquille had really filled in, but Horace Grant was an
Beast.
Adonis.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
a beast, yeah.
You're going to need
Absolutely.
a big boat for that one.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah, he'd hit his head on the T-top every time for sure.
For sure.
All
So you got what? Tom Brady, Horace Grant, Woody Harrelson.
yeah, that motherfucker's funny.
Woody Harrelson. All right. I bet she could fish though.
I guarantee you that man can.
I would
There's
think-
no doubt in my mind.
You got
I
two
would-
more left.
I'd
Who'd you
go.
get? Who you got?
I'd go Shaq,
Right.
Burt Kreischer,
Oh, the machine!
All right.
The machine.
Joe Rogan.
Yep. Oh, damn it! I was headed there next.
All right, I'm at 3. You can go. You can go.
No,
now.
no, well,
They
no,
might
no,
not
here's-
show up, but
I'm just trying to think.
They'll probably get
Bert Kreischer would be
sidetracked.
so damn drunk he'd never.
I mean, yeah, it'd be kind of like my fishing team. It's cool, right?
Good point.
Um,
Good point. I got a couple of them.
oh, let me think here.
Ah, damn it. Oh, what's that blonde actress that?
Margot Robbie.
Angelina
There you go.
Jolie.
No.
All right. He's got Barbie on his
Oh,
team.
I got Barbie.
There you go. No,
She's funny, too.
She's one of the Avengers.
Scarlett Johansson.
That's the one. Yep,
Yeah.
she's definitely on the ride.
Yep. All right. I think you're tapped out.
No, I think that's just 4.
That's
I get
4.
5, don't I?
Who do you get? You got Tom Brady. You got Horace Grant, Woody Harrelson,
And the blonde.
and all right, and Scarlett Johansson. So you got one more left.
Huh.
Got to think for Scarlett. So how many you got left?
I got. Let me think. I got Shaq. Right.
Yep.
Yep.
Burt Kreischer.
Yep.
Bert and Joe.
Burt and Joe. Margot Robbie.
Margaret, you got one. You each got one more left.
Damn, Michelle.
This is a good question,
yeah,
isn't
that's a
it?
great question. It's
Yeah.
interesting. I never
I'm not
thought
sure how
about
many
it.
fish we're going to catch, but we're going to have a good
Have a
time.
good time, no doubt.
Who do you put? Who are you putting on your boat? You got Chevy Chase over there, Carlene. Who else?
I'm just thinking about Woody Harrelson banging the girl in the back of the boat. You might need to grab somebody else to come with you guys because you know they're going to be in the back, not partaking.
That's where your head's at.
It's always that, man. Thanks, Carl and John and Kaz and the rest of the Cinta Rabinsky family.
Man, I didn't know it'd be
All right,
this hard. I'm not a big
come
celebrity
back to,
guy.
We'll come back to it. We'll come back
So
to it.
I may actually drop somebody and add 2.
All right, go ahead. Drop somebody.
So the 2, I can't. Casey Affleck and
Oh.
he's somebody's son. He just passed away. Famous actor.
The kid passed away?
They were,
or
no,
the
they were in
dad?
Hangover. They're always squabbling with each other, giving each other shit.
They were in Hangover.
They're in the no, I'm sorry, Ocean's 11.
George Clooney, Brad Pitt. Who else
No,
is on
it's
there?
Casey Affleck and
Ben's buddy there, Matt Damon.
No, not Damon. They're the 2 brothers. They're racing the thing
Oh,
down
I
the
know what you're
racetrack,
talking- yeah,
and they're
yeah.
always at each other.
Yeah,
I think they would be freaking hysterical.
They would be fun.
if they were, especially they had to be in character. Oh.
Yeah.
5 celebrities who have no fishing experience whatsoever.
Well, who would know
Who
if
would
they
you
have
pick
fishing
from your-
experience or not? Though,
Well, and if they're not going to be an asset. To
I think
your
it'd be
team,
fun.
right?
Go for
it'd be
it.
fun as fuck.
That's
you
funny.
guys are still
we,
missing
We
a
both
person.
only picked one athlete.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not a. But, I don't know. I was thinking about. I was going to go down a bad path, but
What's that?
I
bad
thought I
path?
might bring Joe Biden along with me.
Really?
Yeah, I thought he might be a pretty fun guy.
That and a
Yeah.
bag of cement.
Oh, I didn't say that.
Whoa,
but
whoa. Took a dark turn.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Pretty dark there, Carlene.
I was just who's the
I don't
asshole
think
in
you
the
need cement.
background.
I think if you got him in the water, I don't think he could swim.
That's
I
true,
think
too.
the first boat ride might.
It's like just
Be
treat
pretty
him
hard
like
on
a
him.
gannet and a fucking bird. Ping, ping, ping.
No.
Use a BB on that asshole. That's all you need. Just a
You know
little
what?
Ping.
Here's
so
well, they wouldn't
fragile.
be a celebrity, would they? Any one of those CEOs, of any one of the major oil companies.
Sponsor?
Perhaps you might
I
get a
think
little
I
break.
think a celebrity.
sponsored.
I think a CEO of a major company is technically a celebrity.
There you go.
wouldn't
Give
it,
me
right?
Shell or BP, or I guess maybe they're all
You think
British
so?
Petroleum. Any of them.
Yeah, I mean, well,
Why?
because of they're in the news. I mean,
They're
people
business
talk
people.
about
That
them all
doesn't
the
make them a
time.
celebrity. A celebrity is
All
like
right, so
somebody
take that.
that's
Like, I don't know, Michelle.
worked
Michelle's a
their
celebrity.
ass
I'll take
off to
Michelle.
be where they are.
2 hot blondes. There you go.
Yeah, but she's got fishing experience.
Oh shit! All these fucking rules.
You're
I
gonna
hate
really
rules.
you're gonna choose Michelle to be on your boat?
I was going to, but she's got fishing experience,
Yeah,
so we're out.
She doesn't qualify.
Damn it! I've tried.
All
I can't think of a celebrity's name right now. Like literally drawing a blank on a celebrity's name.
Really, I'm kind of drawing blanks on celebrities' names too. So, but
They're not
that's-
celebrities anymore. There's people that say anybody's a celebrity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't know who all these people are because they're just what's-its and,
What's this and who
Listen, celebrities like Chevy Chase, like people that have grown up in the industry and like made the industry. All these people that are like the new movies, they ain't got. It's just a name.
There you go, I'll take
they have
that
no
red-haired-
knowledge, no.
That redhead singer that's all over social media now. I'll take that dude. Well, I just
Oh, the guy from
Yeah.
from
the Richmond thing.
north of Richmond.
That's great.
Oliver, what's his name?
Yeah, something like that. There you go. He's on
Oliver
my boat.
Anthony.
There you go. He's on my boat.
Oliver
I have
Anthony.
no idea who he is. See,
You don't know about that Oliver Anthony
It's
song?
quick. Yeah, it's quick. It just showed up, but
Yeah, that's good. He was like shot like overnight to #1 all over iTunes.
I saw a thing today. He was reading the Bible before.
America Speaks.
Yeah.
yeah, well, that ain't me, obviously. But
No. But I'm just saying
Yeah.
it was pretty cool.
yeah, he's had a dark past, and
I'd
Has
take Aaron
recovered.
Lewis with me,
Aaron Lewis would be great, but he has fishing experience.
but he doesn't. He's not like a professional fisherman. He likes to
He's a deep
He's like,
drop
what is? Yeah, he's
jigger.
a jigger. He's like,
Yeah.
So.
oh my god. So I had these Asian dudes. I've gotten in pretty tight with Shimano here.
Awesome.
In the last
Segue.
little bit. Yep. And I had these Asian dudes on the boat, and to actually slow pitch jig properly is not much better than that speed jig and shit. Them boys were hard after it all day long with the twitchy, and then twitchy. Oh my god!
Twitchy.
And it's
Yeah?
all they wanted to do all fucking day long.
Oh, yeah.
And it's the same thing I've had every time with the slow pitchy jig shit. We troll, we catch a few fish, we put the live baits, we catch a few fish, and we put the fucking twitchy jigs out, and we wait. And they twitch you away. Oh, had a bite. Fuck, you ain't caught nothing yet, and they twitch you away. I ain't sold on these twitchy jigs, other than in the Bahamas.
They work for
In
sure.
the Bahamas, they work great. They ain't work with a shit out here for me.
Dude.
Well, I should say for me, for them on the rods, twitching away.
At the Lighthouse Point Yacht Club, I think it was 2 meetings ago, the guys from Johnny Jigs came in
Yep.
and did a seminar, and they did a great job. And they really laid it out pretty well,
Yeah.
and it sounded very enticing. I don't do it, you know what I mean? But the way they explained it was, not a lot of work and a lot of high success if you do it this way. And so if those guys are just going and hitting it hard, maybe they're just doing it wrong.
I don't know. These are the
Were they
guys that
catching fish?
invented it. These are the guys that invented it.
Well,
so.
those might have been the guys from the place that invented it. But I don't know.
Well, here's the problem. Every time you hook quality fish on those twitchy rods,
These
a
Shimano
shark,
guys?
yeah, a shark ate the fucking thing. Or they hook a bonita, you catch that. But every quality bottom fish we hooked on 2 trips now, the shark ate the fucking thing. Like I'd be tight, they're fighting the thing and acting like a snapper or a grouper or something. And the one, my mate Chris caught half of a scamp and a sandbar shark on the same jig. The thing that ate the scamp grouper and hung the shark, and he caught the damn thing on this little spaghetti stick rod,
Right.
which was pretty impressive. But yeah, so you can't put enough heat on a fish to reel faster than a shark anyway. But you really can't with those little twitchy rods. So I don't know.
Twitchy rod. That's so funny.
Dude, you know the rod?
Oh, I know.
It's a little twitchy stick. The thing is smaller around than my pinky finger.
I got guys that are addicted to it. They come out. I love it
all
when
they want.
when they go on the boat.
Yeah.
There's no bait.
Yeah.
They just all day long.
Yeah.
Now they use those little micro jigs too, and they catch little blackfins, bonitas. They do it all day long.
There's no doubt the tunas and bonitas love them. But
Yeah,
again,
that's like fishing for roosters on a panga in Costa Rica.
that's a lot of
I mean,
surface stuff.
it's like wears you out, like just hitting that popper nonstop. You got to take a break every now and then. That's
Oh,
a lot
yeah.
of
Jerking
work too.
off all day, man. You just can't do it, can you?
No,
It's got
no, way too old for that.
a lot of Pedialyte.
Speak for yourself.
I'm helping you out over here. Then.
Thanks. What are you over the framing stickers?
It looks better than the fucking girl holding a puppy sideways with her baby there that says $5.99. I'm just like,
What you talking
It's
about,
my
Willis?
cousin, man.
I'm just saying, like.
Anyway, what have you guys been up to?
Fishing,
Fishing.
looking, thinking.
Yeah.
Wondering.
Nick says he sees you in Publix the other day.
Yeah.
Your eyes are all bugging out. You're getting Cheetos and sodas, and
Yeah.
you hitting it hard.
Yeah, we've been going hard. Now my eyeballs have been pissed off here lately too. I don't know. I'm getting all red.
Yeah.
You see, I got what's this one? Got some weird red thing going on.
Yeah,
Really?
really? That?
I like that sticker.
I haven't had, no, I got an appointment to go look at it, but
These are nice.
Yeah.
another problem with down here is so goddamn many people you can't get an appointment to do anything for weeks and weeks out.
Yeah. Yeah.
What I'm hinting at is that I'm seriously considering a move.
Dun 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 dun.
It's just, dude, everywhere you look, there's more and more condos going up, and you
It's
can't
absolutely
get
insane around here.
anywhere on the road.
If I leave here to go home to Coral Springs, it's 10 miles as the crow flies. It'll take me a full hour during rush hour.
Oh,
Full hour. And it's not a fun full hour. It's a bumper to bumper pain in the
Yeah.
ass hour. It's of struggling and battling.
Especially when you go to Riverland and back.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that. Anyway,
yeah. Didn't sound like fun.
no, it
No.
didn't.
But
Had to
the
do
good
2
thing
trips
is there are
worth.
podcasts to listen to now, but whatever. It makes waxing a boat and doing cleaning things so much better. Like, I love listening to music, but get me in a good podcast and I really get some shit done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or even a book on tape. I've listened to Jack Carr's total series of 6 books now twice.
Really?
Yep. Dude, he's, well, with his life experiences. You know who I'm talking about, the Terminal
No.
List. You don't know Jack Carr?
Mm-mm.
Terminal List, they made a TV show
Oh yeah,
on
yeah.
Netflix.
With
yeah.
the dude from Jurassic Park
Yeah,
or in
yeah.
Parks and
Yeah.
Rec. What's
Yeah,
his
yes.
name? Owen.
No, I don't know. Who cares?
Chris something.
Chris.
All right, I'll take him on my boat. There's my number 5.
Yeah, he'd be
He's a
fun
fun
on the
guy.
boat.
He'd be a real
Whatever
fun
the fuck his name is. That guy.
My son idolizes him.
He's
Yeah.
hysterical.
Seems like a good dude.
Yeah.
Seems like. But anyway, they're amazing books. Well, he's a Navy SEAL. I guess they're not retired. They're whatever they call themselves. No longer active
Right.
Navy SEAL.
Decommissioned.
Yeah, and he writes these novels, these fiction novels. But the interesting thing about it is he says everything in the book that he's writing, it comes from his experience, but not actual events in his career or life. But he'd write things in there about places in whatever, safe houses and whatever all. And the government, he has to put all his books in for the government for looking at it. And they redact a bunch of shit. Well, I didn't know there was something there, but clearly now we know something was here.
Really?
A safe house or whatever, and different methods of operation.
So he's got to turn that into the government every time.
He did for
Yeah.
his first 4 books,
Yeah.
and then for the last 2, he said, "Fuck it, I ain't doing it no more."
Yeah.
So
Why did he? I mean, he did it voluntarily, or they?
yeah, well,
required
no,
him to
if you live the life he lived, he also worked for
Right.
the CIA for a little while.
yeah,
Then
there's
it's
a
required.
lot of things that
He knows that
might be a
can't
little
shared.
fuzzy on the. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, but they're great books.
Something might get somebody killed.
Dude, governments like they're real
They're pain in the
sticklers
balls.
with
They're
things like that.
motherfuckers.
I mean, listen, with the mint, I mean, I can't talk about any of it. I mean, we went for our symposium for 3 days. I mean, when I became an artist for the United States Mint, and the first day and a half was legal.
Really?
Day and a half of a 3-day symposium, legal. All it was you talking to their lawyers. You can do this, you can't do that. They're putting up charts and graphs and examples of people that have tried it in the past at the mint and like all the bad things that happened to them, and they scare the shit out of you.
Oh,
Crazy
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, but it's working for the government, dude. It's
I did it.
It's not all glitz and glamour. Trust me.
Oh, it's terrible. I did it working at Fisheries Management Council. I learned how bad bureaucracy is and how
Yeah.
bad our federal government is.
It's horrible.
They don't care.
That's why nothing gets done.
They don't
Exactly.
care about you.
No, and I don't want them to. Don't care about me. Don't look at me. Don't help me.
Don't
Just
be there.
get the fuck out of my way
Don't be
and let
there.
me
I
live
get
my
it.
life.
Small,
You sound me like when I woke up this
small
morning talking
government.
to my husband. Get the fuck away from me. Let me live my life. Sorry.
Get that thing away from me.
Well, that never, but yeah, just no snuggling here.
What's that poking me? So yeah.
Ugh.
So and I agree with you though. Small government.
Yep.
Like just please just provide your basic necessity.
That's the thing
thing,
that
and then
kills
that's
me.
it.
In all these podcasts I listen to and all these little, news, I don't know whatever you call them. They've got it's not mainstream, whatever you want to call the little side news deals or talk. And I'll listen to a whole lot of progressive and left-leaning people just to try to understand them. And they, for 3/4 of their rant, will be bitching and moaning about how bad government is.
Right.
And in the last quarter will be, we need more
Need
government.
more government. Yeah.
How the fuck does that make sense to anybody?
It's delusional.
I'm all
Sickness
about local and
is what it
state,
is.
really community government and local government. Absolutely, because you at least have some. Your hands are in that. You got some control there. In
Exactly.
smaller communities, this community around here is getting too goddamn big. But
No, the way we're structured, when we go to
it's
the capital, to states, to counties, to towns. I mean, that's the perfect
the way it's
system.
supposed to work.
It is the way it's supposed to work. It just there's a lot
I
of
think I'm doing
overreach.
well. Thank you.
But there's no. How can they in Washington know what we need here?
They don't
They can't know.
No, that's why
And
we
they
have
should.
states and counties and cities.
keep the roads good between towns and states. All right, that's your job, federal government, and keep us from getting murked by any other
Countries.
entities.
Yeah.
Whatever. Oh, now.
Police, rescue, fire.
Yeah, but that's not even federal. None of that's federal.
No, that's not
local.
federal. No, I'm not talking about federal.
I'm talking about the
Yeah,
federal
I'm
government.
just talking about just in general.
I
Any
want two
of it.
things from the federal government.
If you're
us from
talking
getting
about
murked.
federal,
Yeah, keep us getting murked by other countries,
Right.
and whatever all, and keep the roads between towns.
Yep.
Right, bridges, roads, whatever. That's it. All right, I'll pay taxes for those things gladly, happily. And the rest of it, shut the fuck up and get out of our way.
100%.
Anyway, all right. I ranted. I'm over it.
especially when it comes to fishing.
Totally. That's where it came from. Was that
Yeah,
my
they have
experience
no
with the
clue.
fisheries
Right.
management, and it's so bad now. I still know a lot of people on the council, and they send me emails and I call
So
them
give me
out.
an update on that, because I've been in a little bit in the weeds past couple of months with just kind of buried with a bunch of stuff around here, and there's a lot of new stuff that I haven't really kind of caught.
What's new? The
Tell me,
science
I don't
community
know.
is still dumbered in
Is
a
it
box
we're
of rocks.
basically
Same place. Everything's the same.
the same place?
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned.
So
So-
well, we got situations like going on up north.
Did you see at NOAA for a little while? It sounded like they were listening to us about the sharks, and
Right.
now they're putting this new ad campaign
Did you
out.
see that?
Yeah, about how the misconceptions of sharks, and
Yeah.
and then they're talking about how well, maybe they're not getting more of them, maybe they're just getting smarter. And
I think the flare is a funny thing too. Like this coalition that they're forming, the CCA and the GHOF got involved, which I thought was hilarious, because now it's, I think, becoming like a thing.
I'm unaware.
I saw some. I don't know. I saw some ad that where it was like, CCA and like all these corporations are starting to get involved, the Guy Harvey Ocean Foundation, and
Oh.
trying to raise awareness of like sharks and everything like that. And it's
And
like,
their
really
importance in
now
the need or
you're
whatever.
talking about this?
CCA saying this? They're
I-
getting on.
Doug,
They're getting with Guy Harvey.
Don't put
All
that. Don't take that to the bank. But I did see something that was floated around recently that was some
If
sort
CCA
of ad.
local chapter CCA or
I think it's state
Mike?
level. I think it was state level. I didn't talk to Mike about it yet.
all right, well, we need to talk to Mike about that because
Yeah,
Guy Harvey's not our friend in the shark
I
situation.
know that. Yeah.
At all. All right. Yeah, we need to talk to Mike then. Actually,
Yeah.
I know some more people at the state level CCO and reach out to. But I don't give a fuck anymore. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm out. I'm done. No.
You giving up?
I've had my. No. It's
You can't win. It's
a
impossible.
waste of energy and.
I brought him into it because I was so tired of it.
So the issue that we have here at Connected by Water with it is that we've tried so hard ourselves. Through working through our own channels and using our art to promote and using our apparel and the causes and the ways that we know how to help. And you're right. It's just really become so tough because all it comes is like one stroke of a pen from someone that has no idea what's going on or doesn't really care to listen and just sees a
No,
dollar
they're
sign.
listening. They're listening to the people that are throwing them dough.
That's what
Yep.
I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
it's all
saying.
about-
They
it's all
see a
about
dollar
money.
sign. It just takes one stroke of the pen, and all the hard work that we do is just thrown out the window.
Yep.
Right. And all the conversations that we have, and all the different ways that we try to inspire the youth and do the cleanups and and sponsor this
Cleanups
event.
and all that. That's all good. We got to continue.
No,
doing that.
that's great to do, but it's just like it just becomes so disheartening.
Oh yeah.
It
When-
gets,
when
it
they
gets
just-
frustrating after
Yeah.
a while.
After every time you go fishing, and sharks are still eating
Yep.
half of what you hook,
Right.
if not more. Yeah.
It's tough.
And they have been for so many years, and it's.
It's doing nothing but getting worse.
Oh God, yeah.
Right.
And it's not. That's not going to change anytime soon.
So I mean, if anyone's listening to this show, we'd love to hear suggestions on different angles to take. I mean, I'm not ready to just give up.
good. Glad y'all aren't.
I'm not. But it makes it hard.
Yep.
It makes it tough.
Do your part.
I mean, listen, we got
Kill the shark.
all the different things like they're trying to like control the speed limits of the boats out in open water.
Yeah.
And all the different things that they're doing up, like in the New Jersey area.
Gulf
with
of
all the
Mexico,
different- Yeah, but all the things in New Jersey too. Yeah,
Yeah.
Gulf of Mexico.
Well, it's
It's
Jacksonville North, dude. It's not
Yeah.
just the Mid-Atlantic, North Atlantic. It's Jacksonville North.
It's right with
No,
it's
no,
right
no. I'm
wheels
talking
up
about.
there.
I'm talking about the windmill farms that they're
Well, that's a
building in New
disaster, too,
Jersey
yeah.
and stuff
Yeah.
like
Well,
that.
that's off
I
North
was just
Carolina
bringing it
and
up as
Virginia.
another circumstance.
They're doing that off North Carolina and
Yeah.
Virginia too.
There's a big push specifically I wanted to bring up with like the whole Save the Barnegat Bay project that Carl Anderson's helping spearhead and stuff like that. So that's a big initiative. They're fighting the good fight. So hopefully things can be done at least on that end because that's still like a fluid situation.
Yeah.
But listen, if the government wants something, it's going to happen.
Too much money involved.
Yeah. So-
That's the problem with being stuck. Whatever. We ought to get off of that shit. It's
Yeah.
All right. So
Wanna talk about
what's-
fishing?
Yeah.
yeah. I'd much rather
Get
talk
on
about
it.
fishing. Yeah. So
What
the
you
last
guys
time
been
we
doing?
talked was March.
It was before the Jimmy Johnson, right?
I thought it was just after, maybe before.
Was it? I have no idea.
Well, speaking of the Jimmy Johnson, Skip, would you rather win the Jimmy Johnson or play a round of golf at Augusta?
That a girl. That a segue.
So
I know the answer to that one.
that was
Comes
San-
from Chris Sanchez.
So I would 100% rather win the Jimmy Johnson, but if I won the Jimmy
You
Johnson,
can take that dough and go.
I
play
might be able
against
to finagle my way into a round at Augusta. So either way, it's a win-win.
I understand.
I think.
Yeah, but
All
I want
right.
to take your question. I want to win that motherfucker again so bad I can taste it.
Yep.
I'm going to, too.
Yeah.
And Kirk Beatty wants to know: does the height of the tower determine the SPF needed in your sunscreen selection?
I
And
do
if
everything I
s-
can to avoid that shit.
And if so, what's the formula?
So now being in on the Viking with the
With the
with
hotel
the
up
Sky
top?
Bridge, the only place I get sun now is on my
Your shins
from,
and calves.
from my knees down. So I coat up like I look like. Actually, I actually started wearing pants
Smart.
because it just burns the shit out of my ankles and it's horrible.
Really?
Yep, I've gotten to where all I feel like cheeks, nose, ears, I'm out. So I can all cook the rest of the way. But I'm sure at some point something will pop up, but the dermatologist hasn't found anything yet.
That's good. I've had a lot of stuff cut out,
Have you?
Yeah. I actually need to go.
cut off, burned
Visible.
out.
I need to take a visit. I haven't been yet since I was like a teenager.
Thanks for being
Probably not a good
irresponsible from not.
One of the smartest people I
Covered
know in John Tite, who does more reading and more research than the vast majority of people combined, has found more evidence of issues with the chemicals in sunscreens and doesn't use it at all. And he has had no issues. Now, that motherfucker gets rosy red. He gets redder than I do.
Right.
So, I don't know. I don't like the way I feel with that stuff on my
I
skin.
think there's a lot of validity what you're saying because you could feel it burning.
Oh,
Like,
it
you
does
could
not feel
the
good on my
chemical.
skin.
Yeah.
That my skin reacts poorly to it. Like I get zits like I'm a fucking high school kid from it.
Mhm.
So I don't know. It can't be that good for you. Which is worse? I don't know. I spent my whole life getting sunburned as a motherfucker. Fortunately, never to pain. I've been told about it. I've never experienced that.
Yeah.
But I'll certainly get rosy red. So I don't know. I don't know what the answer is there. But no. I don't care how tall my tower is. I'm minimal usage of that shit.
I always hit my nose and my cheeks and my ears, even though I've got a hood on and all that stuff.
Do you? That stuff feels weird to me.
All right. Well, we know you don't like sunscreen. Weston Clemente wants to know why Art won't use downriggers.
Doesn't suit my style. And truth be told, I don't really do that. The meat fishing stuff we do, charter fishing and everything. And then the tournaments like this past weekend, we fished that. We've tried to fish the KDW. We fished Jamie's the showdown there. And we caught mahis and kings on the troll. Never put a live bait in the water. All day
crazy.
long. Caught wild. And never had a wahoo bite, which we've been steady picking away at them. I'm not the plainer fisherman that the Hunts are and that these local charter boat guys are.
Mhm.
But I watch them a bit and kind of pick up some of their stuff, and we've been successful with it. We've caught quite a few wahoos, but not Saturday.
Dude, speaking of successful in Wahoos, Curtis
Woo-hoo-hoo!
We got
Man.
back-to-back 88 pounders.
on fire.
Yep.
Wow.
And I
Big
saw there
one.
was a question, something about what's with the increase in.
Yeah, so Will
No.
Kelleher.
they're
asked that.
always here.
Yeah, they're always
Yeah,
here.
I think
There's
that's-
100-pounders caught probably every other year at a point, and
Yep.
the problem is we're not tackled up to catch those things. So I mean, there's been 80-plus pounders caught, and Tim's caught them 90-plus pounds Maddock from as long as I've been in Pompano for 20-some-odd years now.
Yeah, I think
It's-
Matt White commented on Will's. He says,
Yeah.
no, Matt White basically said the same
Yeah,
thing you're
yeah.
saying now.
They've always
Back
been
in the old days when we used to fish wire and double hooks and stuff on the drift boat,
Mhm.
we caught many 60, 70, 80. We caught
Yeah.
a couple like 105, 107 pounders.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never
We
caught
used
one
to
100
crush-
pounds or better, but
we
I've
used to
caught,
crush them at night.
Yeah.
We'd whack them at night.
I've caught a pile of 70-plus pounders out here live baiting, and have had more tree trunks and telephone poles flying through the air sail fishing with fluorocarbon out
Yep.
there than, dude, first one, definitely 100-plus pounder. We were first year, maybe second year in the conch down there off back when the Monument Buoy was there, in the Lauderdale Billfish, so it was November, run down there, and I wasn't an angler. I was just running the boat or whatever, and Brandon was on the right kite, and I see this fucking telephone pole coming, and it coming at the right middle, and I don't guess anybody else saw it coming, and we got an observer on the boat. I grabbed the fucking right middle, and the observer says, "You're not an angler." I don't give a flying. And this telephone pole goes flying through the air, and Twinkie cuts it off in the air and watch the float go. God damn it! I don't care. I'm catching this thing. So yeah, they've always been here. There always will be here, but it's harder now. What's really impressive now is catching them with the sharks.
Yes.
That's
You got to get them in.
you can. It's 88 pounds of wahoo on 20 or maybe 25 pound.
Got to get them in.
It's tough.
You
man.
can't
It's
force
like,
that. You can't force that.
It
It all worked
Everything
out.
has to align perfectly.
Yeah.
You know.
And a Gator 1 catches a 58-pound king up there amongst all that shit.
Yep.
And that's
The
what
Harbor guys lost one of those well over 50.
that's exactly. That's what pisses me off about it. Okay, so when we were really working hard at it and marking those meat tournaments so well and doing everything, if you did everything right, got the bites, fought the fish correctly, you caught the fish every fucking time. Every time. And once a year, you might have a cuda or a porpoise or maybe a shark, but seldom eat one fish once a year.
Right.
Now,
Every
there's
fish.
so much of that shit mixed into it that you got to get lucky enough not to get.
Well, the Hunt's got one big wahoo bit off, right?
Yep. So
This
there's-
weekend?
yeah. So that takes
80-pounder, he said.
Yeah.
And when he says
They seem
80, I
enough,
trust that.
probably there, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I am so not a negative person, but I'm kind of down on that right now.
Man, I don't know. You don't like sunscreen. You don't
Nope.
like talking about church. You don't like
I don't
downriggers.
give you talk
don't
about
like
church all you want. I just
or
don't believe in
some-
that shit.
You know, there's a whole. This is just today's episode.
Yep.
What was
Yeah.
the last subject?
Fuck sharks. Fuck government. Fuck sunscreen. Fuck all that shit. But I'm happy about it. Does that help?
I do want to ask one question that's kind of on the list here from Benny Townend. And he says, since we're talking about tournaments and shit,
More negativity, huh?
is the saltwater tournament scene in a downtrend? And if so, how can we get it to bigger turnouts? Do you feel it's in a downtrend?
No
first of
doubt.
all?
I say that the summertime stuff is definitely trending down. The wintertime stuff is holding its own, doing very well, I think, my opinion. The financial end of it is definitely holding its own in the sailfish stuff.
Yeah. I mean,
Well, I got a theory on that, but it's something that our friend Bernard Paulus told me once. And he said, listen, he goes, I'll explain something to you. He goes, no matter what the economy's doing, rich people are always going to be rich.
Yeah.
this
And
is
then
correct.
sailfish tournament is the higher end
Yeah,
pitch.
it's rich people's.
Yeah, and then you get to the summer meat tournaments, and it's more the blue collar stuff.
Yep.
For the most part.
Yeah, I don't know
mean-
why they're down like they are, because they are so fun. They're fun of it. Like, I am not competing at anywhere near the level we
No.
once did, and not really trying as hard. It's not even close to as hard as we once did. Still thoroughly enjoy getting together with the guys and going out there and doing our thing. It's a blast.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it. Love being involved in all aspects of it. So
We
I think-
talked about it. Like sailfish season was the thing that got me through to meatfish season. Now meatfish season is kind of what gets me through to sailfish season.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a different animal, but I still love the meatfish stuff, even though I haven't done it a whole lot in the last couple of years. But
Yeah. I mean,
thoroughly enjoy it.
I mean,
It's a lot of effort, though.
I got to think, I mean, with the economy being a little down, I mean,
It's been up and it's been down, and look. So 5 years ago, 4 years ago, it wasn't. Dude, when I
wasn't
first
great.
started doing this stuff, it was 200 plus boat tournaments, every one of them, every one of them, and 60, 70, 80 boat tournaments now.
Are we seeing, like, I mean, in COVID, the boat sales shot up? Are we
Those
seeing
people
like
aren't
a
fishing
like a we? What's that?
Those guys aren't fishing tournaments.
No, they're not fishing tournaments, but I'm just thinking of this here too. Just like, are we seeing any like movement, like in like a downtrend in the boat sales? Maybe you heard about anything
I think
that?
used boat prices are definitely starting to tick down a little bit, and
Right.
there's more inventory now too.
Yeah,
Like during COVID, you couldn't find a boat.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Mercury still can't catch up with the needs of the market, the OEM needs or the repower needs. So clearly, there's still stuff going. Now, I do know that they're still having some supply chain issues,
Right.
but they're producing a lot of motors that are going somewhere.
Yeah, there's one little widget that's made somewhere they can't get. Probably that's
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah. So
Frequently.
yeah, and, you know, the funny thing is, like, we had a really bad problem with shirt blanks and all that stuff, like really bad with like, because a lot of that stuff's coming from overseas, and then it went away. Everything was fine and everything like that. Where we're kind of experiencing like another downtrend on it. I'm like, why? You know, but we are.
Everybody probably filled their supplies up,
Yeah.
and then they're having an issue getting their stuff
Yeah.
back over again.
Yeah, so it's like, you know, I don't know, man. It's weird times, strange times.
No, the tournament thing has always kind of been a cycle up and down,
Right.
But there's also, you know, it happened to the rodeo. You know, the rodeo was cranking but at the time there was really only 3 tournaments: the rodeo, Lauderdale Billfish, and Miami Billfish. And there were always 200 plus boats, especially for the rodeo. Rodeo was always
Always,
220,
yeah.
250.
Dude, those Bimini starts.
It was amazing. Lucky nobody died, but
Yeah. That taught me how to run boats and made me strategically think about everything we did with
you
those.
get offshore and you haul ass,
No, dude, we'd get on plane back in the pack
Oh, yeah.
and time it. You know, you watch the clock. You knew when they were going to call it.
Yep.
And we'd be 40 plus knots at the line when everybody just pouring the coals to it, getting on plane. And you don't have to deal with that boat wake. You
Yeah.
get caught up in that boat wake.
Yeah, it's
Forget
pretty sloppy.
It's a mess. But
I
God,
know.
that was so
And-
cool.
But then there's a tournament or 2 or 3 every weekend.
Every week.
There's a
Yeah.
lot. Yeah, it's inundated. It really is. And if you come out with a new tournament, I wouldn't want to come out with a new tournament now because when the hell would you hold it?
Yeah.
Every
it's
weekend
it's
is full.
impossible.
Yeah.
And I mean, even with sailfish, not like there's a sailfish tournament almost
Every
every
weekend.
weekend now. Once you
Yeah.
get into sailfish season,
Since we're talking
Yeah.
about sailfish, and I'm talking about some of the things I've done this summer here, I've been going up there to Fort Pierce and Port St. Lucie a bit, quite a few times. Carter Andrews has become a real good friend, the TV show dude there. And he's a really neat guy.
Coming
Well,
on the show soon or what?
yeah, we'll get that done for sure. But he lives in Vero Beach, and we were going to do a Bahamas trip. Well, one of his daughter's passports had expired. So I go up there and stay a week with him and kept boat in Fort Pierce. And it happened to coincide with a moon there in July. And Port St. Lucie gets this summertime sailfish bite. That, dude, it's as calm as this table. The fish are in there spawning or something. They're up finning on top. You're sight casting a bunch of them. We're fishing these tiny little spinning rods. It was so much fun. What the hell was I talking about? Anyway, I don't know.
the sailfish
St.
tournament.
Lucie,
But,
Fort
there's
Pierce,
sailfish
yeah.
tournaments up there. And there's like 3 of them now. I will not miss those events next
Oh,
year.
they do them in summer now?
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. And it's real fishing. I mean, it's I don't know. I'm in.
Summer sail tournaments?
Summer sailfish
the fit-
tournaments.
Really?
The summer
Dude,
sailfish bite there is better than the January, February bite. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
I was 18 for 22 with Carter and some of his family and a couple of his buddies up there on one day.
Go on.
We were 10 out of 14 on another day. We pulled up with his wife and his 2 daughters.
What's this in July?
This is July.
Yeah?
Yep. Pulled up and I hadn't fished the thing. I said, well, there's a little bit of a break right here. I bridle bait, pitch it over. Now I'm on deck. It's just me and his family. And stick it in a rod holder, put this my little copper wire thing I do, whatever, and go to get ready to rig another one. And for only bait in the water. Close the bail, hand it to his wife. There he goes jumping.
Tight.
It's like that? For real? It's like that? And Scott Fawcett's up there doing it. Scott, bro, I just threw a fucking bait in the water on the 2710 here, and it's been instantly. Yeah, it's like that up here this time of year. You don't know what
Yep.
you've been missing.
Right now,
Now, don't
all
say anything about
Pompano
it.
is looking at Fort Pierce real estate.
Well, that was one of our
Port St.
things.
Lucie.
Like with the Southern Run guys, we always ran up there in the summertime and did that. Anywhere from like the 10 to the we would go all the way to Fort Pierce sometimes. But
So I'm such a student of this shit. It was interesting. You were seeing most of them. I mean, it was a lot of sight fishing. I got a pile of rum in there still. Thank you. So it was interesting. They were in packs of 3 a lot of the time, and there'd be 2 like 25, 30 pounders, and then a fucking beast like a 70, 80 pounder.
Yeah.
big mama.
Yep. If you hooked Mama 70, 80 pounder, the 2 males would not leave her side, but would not feed on a goddamn thing. I mean, you couldn't get a bite out of them things. But if you hooked one of those males, you try to hook that second male, you get a triple because that female's going to eat anything you put in front of her.
Really?
But, yeah.
Yep.
So as soon as she got fired up, though, I think those 2 males, peckers, doing, and it's on. They get the excitement's excitement. They don't
Right,
know why.
right.
So and feeding turned off. But if you could hook those 2 males before she got fired up, it was on. You could hook a multiple. So we quit. We would, if we saw a big one jumping, you'd see the other. You could film the other 2, but we quit casting on them. But if we had a small one start jumping, we'd have the spinning rods ready to start casting on the next ones because it was a guaranteed bite out of the other fish, which I want us to do more of that studying. And I'm running down on the day we ended up catching 18. I think, no, it was the day we caught 10 out of 14. So we took a day off in between the day we caught 18 and we caught 10 and went snapper fishing, bottom fishing, caught some cobias are everywhere up there. It's ridiculous. But we're running down the shallows, catching an angle from Fort Pierce to Port St. Lucie where we're going to fish. And I see a free jumper inshore of me. So I turn haul ass in there and I ran him over. I saw the jumper here. It took me a little while to get there. I'm here and I see a female and 2 males and I all but run them over and they sound out of sight before we get a bait to them. So kind of easing along, frustrated. Maybe they'll pop back up or whatever. And I see ripples off to my right on the surface. Well, something was pushing, and the likelihood of seeing a turtle or a ray or in cobias is so much better than it is here in that shallow, in those flats of shallows up there, 30, 40, 50 foot of water. So I'm hunting hard. Chase says that one of the dudes, Carter's buddies, on the way. He says, "Hey, Cap, something's over there." Slick glass calm, and there's a sail tailing along. And I mean, oh my God. Go to me, cast a bait, flies off the hook, and fish eats that one. Cast another bait, and if the fish somehow rips it off the hook, these are just, pinned baits, hooked them, trying to be quick, and fish eats that one off, still swimming along right next to the boat now, and Carter flips the bait over there, and third bait on a tailer. When's the last time you casted 3 baits at a tailer and ate all 3? So it's such a cool fishery. Sorry, Scott, I'm talking about your fishery.
Dude, one of my favorite things about this show, especially when you guys come on, is like listening to you guys talk fishing. It's really great. No, it's like I get lost in it, and I know our audience does too. It's like
it's
really
amazing.
good stuff.
The first time we went up there was probably we were in the Bahamas, so it had to be 10 years ago, probably.
10 years that's what's been going on.
It was bad. I think it's been going on forever, but it was like slick calm. I'm like, let's go fishing. We're driving and see a flopper, stop, and we put them up, and there's like sailfish everywhere. We're like, holy shit, And we did every end of June, July, we'd always run up there and do that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the crazy thing is this is a place where they almost strictly troll.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well,
and
that's
they're
right.
all kite fishing and live
That's
baiting
right.
up there in the summer doing it.
Always forget about that up there too.
And the
Because I
little
don't really
skiffs,
think about.
yeah, the skiffs are out there doing. There's all kinds of flats boats and bay boats, and I mean you see all kinds of boats out there doing that. And it's interesting in that, and it happened in that second event of the summer series. I can't believe I can't think of the name of the event.
The Chase and Tails.
I think that is what it is.
Yeah.
The two events, and I don't remember. I don't want to mess it up.
Not sure.
Yeah. It's a neat dude. Carter knows him real well. But anyway, the second event, we had a pretty good line of weather come offshore. I was charter fishing out of Jupiter at the time, and legit, like I ran around the thing trying to avoid it, and there was a pile of skiffs out there that had to get their teeth kicked in.
Mm-hmm.
That was the Friday, so the first day of the event. That in the tournament's they've got 2 divisions. They've got a skiff division and a real boat division. Sorry, skiff builders, a bigger boat division.
I'm trying to think about
you guys
what
aren't
tournament
from
that
around
is.
here, are you?
Fucking skiffs.
Y'all boys ain't from around here, are you?
You don't like skiffs?
They got their place. It's just not my world. I don't.
I'm
do
going to
that.
put
Right.
another check in. Okay, we got this.
Fuck them skiffs.
Sunscreen, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Art
All right,
hates
we're on
skiffs.
like
This is
8.
not
Okay.
offshore. So I was in a meeting not too long ago with a phenomenal electronics company.
Shit Art doesn't like. Okay.
I
That's
like
what we need to
skiffs. I
do.
just don't like them
We
offshore.
need to make a Connected by Water podcast T-shirt, and on the back it just says "shit that Art doesn't like," and that's it.
It's so.
Highly opinionated, my friend.
I
love
am
it.
so fucking opinionated. I'm 50 years old almost anyway. I'm
Sorry.
allowed to be at this point.
Yeah,
I'm the
whatever
grumpy
you
old
want
fuck
to.
that doesn't care.
Whatever's clever, brother.
Yep. Well, I don't know that I've ever been clever. But anyway, you're taking risks that I would have taken as a kid, but
Right.
not now. They build boats the way they build them for a reason, and skiffs weren't designed to get caught in a storm
No,
10, 12, 14 miles offshore.
definitely not.
And that's the case up there. You're fishing further offshore up there. You're 1.5 miles from the beach. You see something coming, you punch it. You ain't punching it 14 miles
Yeah,
in a legit ocean.
the sea was angry today, my friends. I mean, shit can turn pretty quick out there, as you guys
I
well
love
know.
an angry ocean.
So I
In the
want
right
to
boat.
ask. I want to ask a question since we're talking about sailfish, and a lot of times I want to mix a little bit of tournament stuff in here too. While I got you guys in front of me too, Eric Leach wants to know our good friend Eric Leach, our world record holding good
Great
friend.
podcast.
Eric
Him and
Leach.
his dad.
Wasn't that a
Yeah.
good one?
Fucking phenomenal.
That was a great one, wasn't it? Right? I loved having those guys. in
Again,
here.
that dude's seen some shit.
Yes, absolutely. For Art, what do you, if any, it's a 2-part question. What, if anything, are you doing this time of year to prep for tournament season? And Eric wants to know how many boats are in your fleet there, Skip.
How many boats?
How many boats are in your fleet?
Currently,
How many? Better question is how many feet of boats?
yeah.
So you got one on the bow of the big one. So
So
that's
1, 2,
2 right off
3.
the bat. Get the Hell's
So-
Bay on top of the Viking.
So 4 boats in the fleet.
Uh-huh.
and it's
Bullshit. There's a Contender and a what
Well,
what
it's
is the
4.
Pride?
The Pride 5 with the Pride.
6 with the Pride.
So
Merit, Viking, the thing on the bow of the Viking, the Contender, the Helen S. What's
Helen S.
did
gone.
you-
Fish City.
Hell, that's gone.
Oh, but I'm sorry. Fish City.
So Viking, Merit, Contender, Hell's Bay, Fish City, and I sold the Popper, so
Oh, you sold a popper?
she gone.
Oh, that's sad.
Eh,
That's really sad.
sad day, but it's time.
Yeah.
So
So-
5.
So what are you doing to prep for sailfish season? Now, and I want to say too, I mean, at this point, since we talked about the downtrend in tournaments, like, are you guys finding that you guys are fishing less sailfish tournaments? Are you pretty much on your program still?
Totally on the program.
Totally on your program.
Yeah, no, that doesn't. One way, my guys, I firmly believe are still. Now, granted, I sucked balls last year. The only event I won, I didn't have any of my guys on the boat. It was a charter deal in that IGFA light tackle.
So whose balls are you sucking if none of your guys are on the boat?
You can't slip one by that young lady.
Bazinga.
Bazinga.
Oh, if I was flexible enough, my own.
Wow, look at you.
But I'm not, so I guess we don't have to worry about that. So no, what am I doing now to prep for sailfish season? Then it's always a mental game for me. I fucking sleep and dream about that shit. It's ridiculous. I wake up thinking about it. I'm making.
Carlene's
I
still
can think
thinking
of
about
it, the
you,
little-
thinking you're talking about your balls.
And he said the little jigger going back to the jigging. He's in his dreams. He's like, yes, we're going sailfish.
Little twitchy rods.
Oh,
Lord help me. This is
You're doing
fucking
just fine,
natural
darling.
and normal. I don't know.
you're doing fine.
Uh,
It's too soon for bait fishing right now, so I'm not doing any of that stuff. Just working through the boat and start working through some of the gear. I'd rather take care of service and reels and that kind of thing right now.
Yeah.
But
Don't keep your bait in Fort Lauderdale.
something going on down there.
Pollution. You kill all your baits.
Poops
that
everywhere.
water's so dirty down there in Las
Oh,
Olas right now. It's
Oh,
horrible.
for sure. Well, again, that's part of the problem around here. They keep
Yep.
building. The nice thing is my understanding is Pompano Beach took care of the underground work. So
So that all right. So that's the thing exactly, and this is part of the reason I do love Pompano. They thought about that shit years ago, and
Yep.
they went ahead and replaced all their sewer before it became a problem. Fort Lauderdale did nothing to address their sewer, and all they did was add more condos. You go down US 1 where the Sunrise does that little boom boom boom.
Oh, yeah.
Then you go head down south of Sunrise Boulevard, and you see
constant
nothing but new condos up, and all I can see is that's a shit ton of toilets.
yep, and
That's
it's
going to
constantly
pollute the
breaking.
river now.
It's crazy.
Yep. Yeah.
So what's our first one this year? Dust them off is
And they gave themselves
December
an
5th?
award
Lauderdale did?
for all because they replaced the sewers and and
Lauderdale
we fixed it. We gave them they gave themselves some sort of award. It's like, really? You're supposed to give yourself an award for bypassing the whole thing and it never happened. How about that? Johnny Los can tell you all about it.
Yeah. That's another thing. These guys are pounding their head against the wall. They make their living on that section of river, intercoastal and river. And
Yeah.
they're just getting murked by all of it. And more people, some more business, but more people destroying that environment. How
Yeah.
do those fish survive that?
I don't get
it's
it, man.
crazy.
I don't really understand it. I mean, I don't know. I got a beef with Fort Lauderdale government right now. Like big bad beef
Oh, boy.
when it comes to that
Good luck.
area. Yeah, yeah, good luck is right.
Yeah.
But anyway, all right. So sorry I had
hard
to
to
get
beat
sidetracked
even
on that because I wanted to bring that up at least because that's kind of like recent news with how bad it really is getting down there. Like,
It's not getting. It is. It has been.
yeah, no, it has been, but it's worse now. That's what I'm saying. It's recent news that it's not getting better. It's actually getting worse, and it's horrible.
Bad
Anyway.
stuff.
So we got more sailfish stuff because Cody Davis wants to know, and you liked this question when he asked it on Facebook earlier
Yes.
today. If there was never such a thing as a sailfish tournament, would you still enjoy targeting them as much as you do now?
Yes.
Abso-fucking-lutely. I didn't have any more fun fishing this summer than I did up there catching them damn things. Every one of them pops up and I lose my shit. I
I
love
don't
it.
care how many you see. If you have a passion for it and you love what you're
Yeah.
doing, every time a fish pops up, whether it's a 2-pound kingfish, you get excited.
Right.
Yep. And
Yeah.
sales are that much more exciting to me.
Yep. And it's just I don't know. I love it.
I do love sailfish like a lot. I really do. And I know there's a lot of people that
I know people
like-
just can't stand it.
like a lot of people can't stand in line like the kingfish
Yeah.
kingfish teams and stuff like that. They all sailfish just gets in our way of catching the kingfish. And, it's
Fucking
just-
kingfish of all things.
right. I
So
know. That's
Joe,
what I'm saying. That's
so
exactly
it's-
my point.
You talked about Joe Rogan earlier. It's a bit of his mentality. He doesn't understand catch and release fishing. Doesn't get it. So
Joe
why the
doesn't?
fuck are you playing that trick on a fish like that? He doesn't get. If you want to catch it to kill it and eat it, he's all about it. But if I'm catching a fish to kill it and eat it, if a kingfish guy is holding something against me for wanting to catch and release a sailfish, I say the same thing about a king. A king's okay. Yeah, you can eat it. I'd rather eat a sailfish.
You could smoke a king and smoke a sail just the same.
You could eat a sailfish,
Sailfish
in
are
any way you
delicious.
That's what I
want.
mean.
They're
Oh my
phenomenal,
God.
but they're so much more valuable alive. I'd rather let them go.
Yeah, for sure. But
For-
I mean,
but
I'm
food
saying,
quality?
as far as meat quality goes, you could smoke a kingfish, smoke a sailfish just the same.
Better,
Sailfish is way better.
way better. Any way you want to cook a sailfish is better. There's got a lot of guys eat it sashimi.
And you can harvest one per day.
Hey, don't do it. Please don't do it.
No,
guys.
don't do it. But I'm
They're
saying
more
you
val-
can.
Sharks are harvesting enough of them.
Yep.
Right.
They're more valuable alive. So, yeah. No, to his question, Cody. Yeah, I would fish for those things, no matter what the situation.
You know, that's the thing. I'm gonna need to reach out to Cody. Actually, I think I want to have him on the show
Good kid.
and talk about all that Lake Okeechobee stuff that he's going through.
Yep.
And the stuff that he does and with the bass fish and stuff like that. I'm gonna reach out to him.
Yep.
I know
That's
his par- I
that's
know
an
his
old
parents
Florida
pretty
family. They
Yeah.
yeah. You know Sean Good.
Mm-hmm. I know
Sean.
Sean and Trish.
Trish, yeah.
I know
Great
Trish back
people.
from when I used to work at BC Surf and Sport.
Okay.
Back in the day, we know Trish since
Yeah.
when we were
Great
like 15
family.
years old. Yeah.
Yep. Love those people.
So
But I will say the tournament aspect side of it makes it more exciting. Anyway, I think.
Fuck yeah.
yeah,
Of any of it.
Yeah,
of all
it doesn't
of
matter. I don't know. If you have a passion for fishing,
Mhm.
if you're out bluegill fishing, you're going to be all about it and you're going to love it.
well, people ask me all the time, like, what's your favorite fish? Gosh, I just say favorite fish to paint, really, too, is sailfish.
It's a
And
special
to me,
critter.
it's just like, personally, I mean, just coming up with like all the, because they flip and flop and bend in every which way you can, and that sail always looks different in every, and just making that sail in a painting, it's
Never the
such a
same.
beautiful fish, such a signature fish to our area.
And they seem so pissed off when they realize they've been fooled.
Yep. Son of a bitch. They
It's
got
like
me again.
instantaneous.
Oh,
jump and
shit, they
cut.
got me.
Yep. And I like that attitude.
I'm like, I wake up in the middle of the night and I think about I was thinking, we never really talked about Jimmy Johnson, but I was thinking about it was horrible fishing. Slick calm, it sucked. And we started getting some bites and I was like, man, I wish I would have gone and switched stuff up a little sooner because we're getting bites on deep baits on flat lines.
Mm-hmm.
Should have pulled a few of the kite baits out and just put it around. I don't know, just I literally wake up and be like, damn it, why didn't I do that,
Yeah.
It happens all the time. Or how to get more bites, how to change stuff up.
Yeah.
Because if you're not changing or doing stuff different, you're not trying.
I thought one of the most interesting things too was like when you originally first started doing the shows, Art, is you originally started doing them just so you could go back and you talk about, or you say, oh, I talk about all about what I did this tournament, and then the next year when that tournament would come up again, you go back to the episode and just listen to the episode and be like,
Yeah,
okay,
you
what did
figure
I
out
do
what
that
you did
last
wrong.
tournament?
Yeah, so all the Type A's you got on your boat and the fucking plethora of people you have on your boat, how do you convey your thought and your need or desire to do something in a very specific manner? One, without making them disgruntled, and two, with them actually getting you to do it.
From the 8th floor,
Yeah, from the
So-
fucking
so we
sky.
from the
have our-
mezzanine.
We have our headphones just like this, so we're talking just like this. I'm not
Right.
screaming anymore. I
Sure.
still scream when shit goes down. There.
Right.
It doesn't. So So going into marlin season, I was watching a lot of marlin stuff because I'm not a marlin guy.
Uh-huh.
So I was watching how guys do their stuff, and I'm listening to these guys talk how they're. Yep, there he is. He's on the left teaser. I'm like, fucking there. I'm screaming, through the microphone.
Right.
But it's a little less when we're sail fishing. But I don't know. As far as like, we're kind of like I would almost say a well-oiled machine. The only guy that
You
the
guys
only,
have been together for a while now.
yeah, the only thing that I really don't have is I don't have a Jimmy. I don't have that one real flatline guy that can just do it, get it done, and go. That's really the only thing I'm missing. But Josh is really good on the flatline. But he hasn't been able to fish every tournament because he's so busy. And then I got Curtis there and coach, and now I have a mate who I'm kind of grooming to learn and do stuff. So my guys they hold the rod the entire time. They never put the rod down. So, and everybody basically fishes the same position. And we have basically 8 guys this year. So if somebody wants to tap out, they'll tap out and tap in kind of thing. But for me, it's pretty easy. I'm like, there he is, feed him, and most of the time they listen to a T.
Mm-hmm.
My concern is I feel like, so this, like I said, I wasn't good this past season, and in the brief moments where I was actually kind of, things would show up and looked right and doing right, and we'd start to get bites, which were far fewer than the days where I was terrible and couldn't get bites. Things just went sideways. We had a rough go of it, but it's been the first year that I've had that was that rough, and I felt like I couldn't, once it would start rough, I couldn't figure out how to get the intensity back into it. Because there's got to be some urgency, there's got to be some pace to it, but inevitably in the last half hour, all of a sudden that urgency and that intensity would show up, and so clearly mentally they're there and they know it can happen at any moment, and we can. But I'm, leadership skills and qualities. Usually, if you're doing well, leading is easy.
It's easy.
But last year, the struggles that I had
when you're not doing well is when you need to be a good coach, and
so exactly. So that's where it was a real learning experience, and I haven't learned yet. I haven't figured out how to pump that intensity into the group when maybe you just, hey, look, clearly, guys, I'm struggling right now, but it ain't going to be this way for forever. I don't know. I'm struggling to find the right way to pump energy into a group of fucking elderly dudes anymore, because we are all getting elderly.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, man. I try to keep them up, I normally, like, if we miss a fish, or I'll be like, I'm all right, guys, we'll get the next one. I try not to get too down.
No, never on that. Never down on that. But I'm more worried about, I'm never down. I'm where I want to be and need to be, just to continue sucking air. I got to be there doing that.
Now he's sucking air. Sucking balls before. Now you're sucking air.
If I'm not sucking air, babe, that's when I actually will get unhappy.
Is that what the kids are calling it these days?
Yeah.
My thing is trying to keep the guys pumped up. Like, if they miss a fish,
yeah,
some of them get totally down in the dump.
Yeah.
No
doubt.
Jay, who fishes our right wall, he loves it. Man, he has such a passion for it. Like, shit goes wrong. Sometimes you get a bad bite, fish eats, comes up jumping, pulls up. It happens,
Oh, yeah.
But he takes it to heart. Like, he's like, oh, he gets down in the dumps. I'm like,
Jay Walls?
I'm like,
Yeah.
Jay Wall, shake it off, dude. We're going to get the next one. Don't worry about it. Fire bait out. And, like, a lot of times when you're getting bites, boom, you get a bite right away. And
it
kind of goes,
Yeah.
in the, I'm trying to think must have been the Derby, because it was a tip tournament.
Derby's not tip anymore.
It was maybe, but I can't remember. It was one of them was a tip tournament.
I don't know. I haven't been fished the buck yet.
Anyway, so we're fishing, and we kind of got in that pattern. There was a giant bait ball, like literally next to the buoy out front of Palm Beach, like 90 feet. And every time we would find that ball, we'd get a bite or another bite, and we were pecking away, doing pretty good. And we ended up winning the daily. Day one must have been day one, because we got daily money or something like that.
That had to have been buck then.
Maybe, but I can't remember.
Yeah.
I'm trying to. I thought it was the Derby.
It was a Derby. Yeah, it was definitely a tip tournament.
Yeah.
Derby doesn't tip anymore. It's all video.
But it was
now.
that's when
No,
you
it's video. It's video, but it's a tip tournament.
That's the one you won the first place,
Yes,
the first day daily.
That's what it was.
It was the Derby.
So anyway, we had a double or a triple on, and shit started going sideways. Like, one fish was going this way, and like it was slick calm, shit sagging in the water, and I was trying to, like you asked, I was trying to convey to everybody what I wanted to get done, but it was just fucking chaos. Shit was going sideways, and we're back on one fish, and it spit the hook like literally like a foot from the tip. So, and that fish would have put us, I don't know, it might have put us up one. I can't remember. Anyway, shit went sideways. Everybody's, oh man, we lost him. I'm like, keep pushing, boys. Not a big deal.
We've got two more of them on here.
I'm like, we're good. Keep going. And then it was in the buck. We're up there fishing. We're up there on the ledge. We get up there and we hook a quad. And there's shit going sideways. Stuff's going everywhere. Joey's stretched out this way. Randy's stretched out here. Everything's going the wrong way. And we ended up catching two out of the quad. Like, stuff just, one was a pulled hook, one frayed off. But, it comes down to experience too. Like, Maybe he should have backed off a little bit. Who knows,
Was that the tournament? It was like really super big out.
What, rough?
Yeah.
Last
No,
year
it was literally
last year
slight
was
calm.
Last
I don't
year
think
was
we had one
surprisingly
single
calm.
rough.
Wasn't it, what was there was one tournament that was like really, really big that I think you guys did well on too, wasn't it?
Year before last, we had some rough ones.
Yeah, we had some
Maybe
really
that
rough
was it.
days. We had the only day that I was even marginally rough was first day of operation. Because wasn't it? But it was blowing west at like
Yeah.
35 or 40.
Yeah.
It was honking.
Yeah.
And we caught 3 fish for a daily or second place daily or something like that. And then the next day we could not literally get a sniff. We couldn't get a bite. We couldn't catch a bonita. I don't think we caught a fish all day.
Ghosted.
We got ghosted, and Andrew was fishing right next to us down there off flat tops and caught like 6. I think he won the tournament.
You did.
Right? Yeah.
Damn.